Good morning, everybody. This is Yin Yang with Morsels of a Thought in California. Morsels of a Thought number 377. Right now, I am talking on a Thursday, and on Thursday and on Mondays, I talk about the rules, morsels of a thought, and basically, I refer to the calls that we make. Good afternoon, Lena. And so let's start. Be polite to men who ask for dates. It's not the name of a chapter, but in Not Your Mother's Rules, The New Secrets for Dating, they're always saying that you want to be nice. And when you let them down, you are just, oh, look at the time, I've got to go. Or that you just don't go where people are rude. You know, if they're rude to you and they say, oh my gosh, you got to lose some weight or something like that, you just go, oh, look at the time, I've got to go, you know, because you kind of cancel them out. Good morning, John Clark. You cancel them out. You basically reject them, but you don't have to go where you are angry. You want to say, you are such a jerk, but you don't say that. We don't do that. As rules girls, we're always happy and busy and cheerful, and we're smiling at the universe, and we didn't hear anything bad about us. And if they are snarky on a text like, you are hard enough to get, you're probably playing games with me. Well, then no, you don't go out with him. He's next. You go like that. So I wanted to go into some politeness quotes this morning. Diane Setterfield, and this is from Goodreads.com, says, one needs no particular talent to be polite. On the contrary, being nice is what's left when you've failed at everything else. Well, Otto von Bismarck, Bismarck, says, be polite, write diplomatically. Even in a declaration of war, one observes the rules of politeness. Interesting. Emma Donahue, Donoghue, says, I remember manners. That's when people are scared to make other persons mad. Well, we also do want to be careful. We only use a cell phone. We don't give them a landline because nowadays you just never know who it is. If it's a bad person, you don't want them to become, you know, a stalker. He shouldn't know where you work or where you live exactly. And all he should have is a phone number where it's a cell number, so you can block him if you need to. And there are people that are like that have been rude and all that. Tiffany Madison says, as a Texan, I say ma'am and sir to my age contemporaries and open doors for anyone that I can. This goes for men too, though it is appreciated when they beat me to it and disappointing when they don't. Tiffany Madison, it's a woman who said that. Here's a little poem. Ilona Andrews in On the Edge says, the first rule of etiquette a boy learns when he's about to enter society is that civility is due to all women. No provocation, no matter how unjust and rudely delivered, can validate a man who fails to treat a woman with anything less than utmost courtesy. The boys hung on his every word. He glanced in her direction. I have met some incredibly unpleasant women, and I have never failed in this duty, but I must admit, your sister may prove my undoing. Oh, goodness gracious. Here's another one by Adam Rex in The True Meaning of Smekday, Smekday. I don't know what that means, but he says, Whoa, I said, blocking the doorway. You can't come in here. This is the girls' room. Even as it came out of my mouth, I knew it would sound dumb. Dumb, I thought, and maybe even wrong. You are a boy, aren't you? I asked. I mean, don't take that the wrong way or anything. J-Lo is a boy, yes. I let that go. So, you, boov, have boys and girls just like us? Of course, said J-Lo. Do not be ridiculous. Ridiculous is what they wrote, but okay. I smiled a one little smile. Sorry. The boov have 7 magnificent genders. There is boy, girl, girl boy, boy girl, boy boy, boy boy girl, and boy 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 boy. I had absolutely no response to this. Okay, that's kind of a cute one. Carrie Pratchett in Weird Sisters, W-Y-R-D Sisters. She'd never mastered the talent for apologizing, but she appreciated it in other people. And then brainyquote.com has Tommy Lee Jones saying, kindness and politeness are not overrated at all. They're underused. I remember something about Tommy Lee Jones. He's the actor. I think he was roommates at Harvard with Al Gore, actually. They were roommates, former Vice President Al Gore. So, what's this one called? Cool and Smart. Cool, letter N, smart, all one word.com. Coolandsmart.com. The Prophet Muhammad said, a man's beauty is in his tongue. So all the more that in the rules we don't accept men who are rude to us. We just don't. Arthur Schopenhauer, and this is from notable-quotes.com. Arthur Schopenhauer says, politeness is to human nature what warmth is to wax. Isn't that interesting? That is nice. And then in the spruce.com, excuse me while I rub my nose, I forgot to use my nasal spray. Sorry. I have it. The left side is itchy. Sorry. Okay, so in the spruce, it has some hints for us, and we don't use curse words. We don't use curse words at all, ever. We also, in the spruce, they suggest that you take out certain words that are derogatory, like any derogatory words that are sexist, racist, or derogatory to a specific group. Dating is not therapy. You don't get to say everything anyway, so make sure you don't say anything that's really violates the rules of politeness, breaks the rules of politeness. That's not too good. And then, yep, yeah, and nope. These words are rude versions of yes and no, it says. So, let's see. No problem. When someone is thanked, and that person in turn says no problem, some people cringe. Even though it's the contemporary way of saying you're welcome, it seems abrupt and can be confusing to anyone who grew up without that expression. And actually, the word no at the beginning of that, we do say no very, 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 very often in the rules. But when if a text goes through, but the last word is truncated somehow, you would say no, and they might, mistake it or take it the wrong way. Here are some words that are polite and fall into politeness. I'm sorry. When you make a mistake or you hurt someone's feelings or do something that you know you shouldn't have done, saying I'm sorry is always the first thing you should say. I beg your pardon. That's a good one. Pardon me. And that is kind of close to a reprimand, like pardon me for misunderstanding. And that's only when people are, like women who are answering a text, are answering kind of a not so, text. Excuse me is the same way. May I, and that's actually more of his line than your line, may I. Or when you are going to suggest something, you can say, may I suggest those 3 restaurants. When he's asking you, I don't know your area, what restaurant would you recommend? And then you say, or cafe, you say, oh, there's a Starbucks on that street, there's a pizza on the other street, and there's a little cafe on the other street. And that's for the first time dates, which is called the D0, date 0, because off of the internet and you're meeting them for the first time, you don't know what they look like yet. And when you're actually physically in the same place together, you understand right away whether there is any chemistry. Say thank you, say you're welcome, say please. That's all from thespruce.com. And that's about all today. I just wanted to go into politeness, and maybe I can read you a little story here. This is kind of cute. Lynn Truss, Truss, in Talk to the Hand, The Utter Bloody Rudeness of the World Today, or 6 Good Reasons to Stay Home and Bolt the Door. She says, there is an old German fable about porcupines who need to huddle together for warmth but are in danger of hurting each other with their spines. When they find the optimum distance to share each other's warmth without putting each other's eyes out, their state of contrived cooperation is called good manners. Well, those old German fabulists certainly knew a thing or two. When you acknowledge other people politely, the signal goes out. I'm here, you're there, I'm staying here, you're staying there. Aren't we both glad we sorted that out? When people don't acknowledge each other politely, the lesson from the porcupine fable is unmistakable. Freeze or get stabbed, mate. It's your choice. Okie dokie, alrighty. And, oh, Chloe is right here. Ha, ha, ha. She was a little worn out. Chloe, come on up. You want to come up and give us your cameo today? You are right here. Oh, girl, you little girl. She's becoming a little overweight, is my opinion, but that's just my opinion of a cat. Of a cat in the, eating happily. She's a very happy kitty cat. Okay, so that's all for the rules for today, and I will see you tomorrow. Today was number 377. Okay, bye.